Hello there and welcome back to the week one edition of the video newsletter. First off, let me start by saying the draft I thought went really well. It was fast, smooth. Barkley even showed up on time, thank God, after telling us he wasn't going to be there. So let's get to it. Let's get to the week one matchups. In the game of the week, the number one defending champion Tough Nut Squad is taking on number two Tuna. This game has already gotten off to a big start as the champ has seen Hunt and Hill and the Chiefs D give him 73 and change, just under 74, and the Pats D for Tuna gave him -1. So it's going to be a tough road for Tuna here if he hopes to come back on the champ. I don't foresee that happening. I mean, both teams are okay, solid. Champ, with those performances last night, all of a sudden this team looks pretty good. But we'll see. It's only the first week, so we'll see what happens. So right now, I do like Tusa. I probably would have picked him either way. I got to see more. I got to see Lender's team perform first before I'm gonna get behind it, really, because he's got a lot of names that need to prove themselves. McCaffrey, Mixon, Hopkins has to come back and show that he can be good again. Garcon and San Fran, we'll see. We'll see. So right now I got Tusa as the 5.9 favorite to win his week one matchup here against Tuna. Our next game, Chopatown Jaguars versus the People's Champ, already has gotten off to a start as well. Sasso, not a good night from Brady or Hogan. Neither of them did particularly well, combining for just under 17 points. It's going to be tough for you to make up for that because Brady is Brady and he didn't do anything. But, we'll see what happens there. Chopatown receivers are definitely questionable. Allen Robinson, obviously the guy's talented, but we'll see if he's actually a true number one for a fantasy squad. Golden Tate and Crabtree, it's probably like every other week guys. Crabtree's a consistent guy, but we'll see if he can explode. Running backs, you got pretty good matchups here. We'll see how Marshawn Lynch turns out for the Raiders after coming back after retirement. That's definitely questionable, but he is Lynch, so who knows? We'll see. And then Dave Johnson, obviously, is probably the number one running back in all football, him and Bell. So, should be interesting. Thanks to the hurricane that is coming to Florida, Winston is off now, and Joe Flacco will get the reins for Chopatown. But thanks to Brady's slow start, Flacco doesn't have much to do. So, we'll see how that goes. So to be fair, I have TPC as the 0.05 point spread there. So a tight one, basically a pick 'em, but I like to pick somebody, so I'll give it to Sass for this week, and we'll see what happens there. Versus Uncle Ron's Chicken and Waffles. You like that name?
No.
No. So they both got started last night with arguably the top two tight ends in fantasy football in the NFL with Gronkowski versus Kelsey. Kelsey came out on top as the 6.9 to 4.3 winner. So not much there. Not much of a lead, not much of anything, really. So looking at these two teams, you got Eli Manning versus Cam Newton. Of course, I'm always going to favor Eli, or at least side with Eli, but Cam Newton's looking for a bounce back year. It wasn't great last year at all. Panthers weren't really good, but they should be better this year, and he should be putting up points. That could go either way. And then you got Ezekiel Elliott, who is going to be playing this week, but then is suspended for 6 games. So hopefully he does well for Pasternak, and for all us Giant fans, hopefully he doesn't. So that should be interesting. See what he got. See what he gives in this one little game he's going to show his talent in for a while. But these two teams, they're very, very similar. Both have one really good running back. The second is questionable. When Elliott comes back, there's 2, but Pasternak also has Bell, who obviously could be the 1 or number 2 running back in all of football. So we'll see. But then the receivers are decent as well. You got Thomas versus Benjamin. That's going to be a nice matchup. Thomas is a very high pick this year after his rookie year, so he should do pretty well for the Waffles. These teams are not. There's not much separation there. I do think I'm going to favor the Cam Newton matchup against San Francisco over Manning. That should play a factor. Bell's always scary, and Elliott. But I like the matchups here for the Waffles, and I actually think that the Waffles will take this one by 5.5. So Waffles by 5.5 in this game, and now we're going to move on. So the next game I got. Number 11 Steakhouse versus number 12 Models. Oh, yeah. The two teams in the basement of the rankings. But we'll see what happens as it's a new season. And these rankings really don't mean anything until the season really starts. So this game has gotten off to a start. The new Patriot, Brandon Cooks, went for T-Bone and got him 10.3, on a slow offensive night for the offense, the passing game especially. So it's not bad. 3 receptions for 88 yards. Not bad, but not great, but he'll take it. The Models have Rodgers, and he's obviously probably the best quarterback in fantasy, if not the best quarterback in the NFL. So that's always fun for them. These two teams, they're very similar. Neither team is like crazy good. They both have, 2 of the top 3 wide receivers. Models have Julio Jones. And Todd has Odell Beckham, who hopefully is not too banged up and is going to give it a go this weekend and, be himself. So that should be fun. They probably should just cancel each other out, but it'll be fun to watch. Todd, of course, has his rookie in Fournette at running back, so we'll see how that goes. In Jacksonville, he could get a lot of touches because that team, could, most likely be bad as usual. And Todd does have Kirk Cousins, who is, no one ever seems to like that guy, but he is, a stat machine. He does very well. So we'll see how that turns out. Other than that, I think these teams are pretty even. Right now I got the Models winning by a field goal, the spread at 3. So I predict that it'll be a close game, but I'm predicting all these games to be close. So, we'll see what happens there. In our next game, we have the Bells from Philadelphia, the number 3 Bells versus the number 10 Black Thunder squad, who surprisingly doesn't look that bad, to be honest. Their team doesn't look that bad. We always laugh at Barco with his draft picks, but then in the end, last year's team looked pretty decent. If not for a stupid move and by not starting a receiver, he would have made the playoffs, and who knows. But this year, his team is not bad, especially with Gillislee going last night and getting him 22 and change. That was awesome. 3 touchdowns. You couldn't have asked for a better day, especially from a Patriot running back. But then he's got Howard and C.J. Anderson. Anderson could definitely be good. I have him in another league, but, the guy's got talent. If the line can protect him and he stays healthy, he could possibly be good. It could be a really good running back trio for Barco there. Then he's got Adams and Cooper in the wide receiver slots. Good guys. Cooper obviously is good. Adams should be good. And Russell Wilson, he's a good quarterback who can get stats. So, his team's not bad. Martellus Bennett in Green Bay, decent. His team is not terrible. Granted he has 2 defenses, but, you would think he would drop one maybe and pick someone else up when he can, but who knows. And then there's Shaw. I feel like every year I look at Shaw's team and I'm just like, come on, this team isn't that good. And then he wins 8, 9 games, competes for his division, makes the playoffs, but yet still has not won a championship yet, but I'm sure that one's coming soon. Hopefully it's later rather than sooner. And definitely, hopefully, I'd rather be before an Eagles championship. I'll give him that. But his team is Rawls, Montgomery, Martavis Bryant, AJ Green. He's got AJ Green. He's got Delanie Walker. Gostkowski, who went last night for the Patriots, got him 9.2, which is good for a kicker. So, this game is off to a decent start. It's not going to be a runaway by any means. Maybe the site's got Barco favored by, almost 20 points. About 17 points. I don't think it'll be that high, but I actually do think Barco is the favorite in this one. I've got him at 1.5 just because I don't want to disrespect Shaw with his history. But I do think Barco's team is is going to be a challenge for people. So, 1.5 might be a little low. I'm just trying to play more about, what actually is going to happen. I don't know. But I do give Barco the edge. So that one should be interesting. And now the final game of the week here. Number 8, Funk versus number 9, Wreckers. One championship between them. It's been a while for the Wreckers. It's been never for the Funk. So, but the Funk are similar to the Bells, where they always seem to be competitive. They always seem to be in it, and they just haven't won it. It's coming. It's definitely coming at some point, but when is the question. So this game has gotten off to it started last night with Santos going for the Chiefs last night, and the Wreckers getting 6 points on the foot of Santos. Fine, not horrible, but whatever, it is what it is. It's a kicker. We know how Lewinsky loves his kickers, so he was definitely like watching that one, like, but who knows? But this team is these teams are pretty good. I mean, you got Breeze going for the Funk, Mariota going for the Wreckers. The interesting backfield for the Funk: AP, Adrian Peterson, Frank Gore, and Cook. You got the rookie and then the two grandpas, basically. So we'll see how that turns out. Peterson's interesting. I mean, I definitely would have liked to have snagged him, but you don't know when to take him, and Stork got him, and he may be great, he may be nothing. We'll see. I mean, it's gonna be interesting. That could definitely make or break his season. But then he's got Jordy Nelson, who he took really high. I remember being a little surprised, but he's Jordy Nelson. He does well, but he's definitely awesome. And he's got Baldwin, who was amazing last year and should do just as well this year. Jimmy Graham again had a bounce back year last year. Was awesome. He should be good again this year on that Seattle team. And Justin Tucker, who's probably one of the best fantasy kickers. He definitely was last year for Stork, and the Texas D, who always seems to be good. Hopefully the offense doesn't keep him on the field too much, so get some points for Stork. And then you got the Wreckers, who another interesting running back situation this week, especially with the Bucks now being off due to the hurricane, and he's got Stewart, Sproles, and Hyde. Hyde is he's good. He's obviously talented. He's good. He was decent last year. Had numbers. Was pretty good fantasy wise. And he'll probably be fine this year, but I guess he's a little banged up. We got to worry about that. Sproles is who knows? You never know when he can bust one out, but he's not going to get as many touches as you would hope for. But when he gets them, you hope that he does really well with them. Then there's Stewart, who's going to be behind McCaffrey, who looks awesome, but he's a rookie, so we'll see how that goes. And Stewart's reliable, but, hopefully he doesn't get too hurt. But maybe now with a lesser workload, it won't be so bad. The receivers, Demaryius Thomas, obviously talented. The quarterback situation there with, is not great. So hopefully he can get his touches. He had a decent year last year, even though it didn't seem like it was, but he was pretty good. Des Bryant, on the Cowboys with Prescott throwing to him. I mean, that should be fine. Not this week against the Giants, obviously, but decent. Rudolph, seems boring at tight end, but it's a guy who gets numbers, so he should be all right. And, of course, the Steelers D for the Wreckers. They wouldn't be a Wreckers team without a Steeler on it, so obviously they have the Steelers. And this game, I think, is another close one. Like every game this week, it's hard to really, separate teams at this point before you really see them play. There's too many question marks on every team to really know. So right now, I got the Funk as a 3-point favorite here. A field goal should decide this one. So we'll see if Justin Tucker can come through and kick that field goal and win the game here late. So it should be interesting. So to go over all the games again, game of the week, Tusa versus Tuna. I got Tusa at 5.9, the favorite. Jaguars and People's Champ, I got People's at 0.05. Models and Steakhouse, I got the Models as a field goal favorite. 40, and the Waffles, I got Waffles as a 5.5-point favorite. Thunder and Bells, I've got the Thunder at 1.5. I actually think it might be more, but I didn't want to disrespect Shaw and give too much credit to Barco, but I think he actually might have a swat here. And then last but not least, the Funk as the field goal favorite against the Wreckers. So I hope everyone is as excited as I am for this first week of NFL football, which started last night in a surprising victory for the Chiefs, although I don't think it was that surprising, but what a game. The Chiefs look muddy, and those Tusa guys, Hunt and Hill, they look good. So we will see. But I hope everyone enjoys the games. Let's go Giants!